Okay, are you guys ready? Are you ready for class? Class is now in session. Okay, how to take stunning apple picking and harvest outing photographs. So it doesn't have to be just apples. If you live where grapes are, it's harvest time for grapes. If you are with the what do we call it, pumpkins and squash and all that stuff, it's harvest time there. And also, if you're collecting and also getting the hay and everything together for the cows and everywhere, if you happen to live in those areas, it's harvest time across the country. Autumn is harvest time. So anyway, so this is just not for apples, but it will help you. 'Cause a lot of us go out and participate in this stuff. So, how to take stunning apple picking and harvest outing photographs. Here we go. Number one, plan your shoot. We've talked about this several times. Best time, early morning or late afternoon during the golden hour provides warm, soft lighting that enhances the natural beauty of the scene. And in this community, we all know what the golden hour is, right? That's the hour before the sun sets, or the hour or so after the sun rises. Okay, so dawn in the morning, sun rises, that first hour that everything is beautiful and golden, or right before the sun is setting, right there, an hour before the sun sets, is the golden hour. Also, think about weather. Weather, overcast days can also work wonders as they diffuse the light evenly. We've talked about that in our community many times. Yes, weather. Cloudy days are the best days to take photos because you have less shadows, unless you want shadows. Okay, next. Two, gear up. Camera, use a DSLR or mirrorless camera for a high quality shots, and smartphones can work too with a good camera app. We've talked about those apps. You have apps on your phone, you have editing apps on your phone, use them. Also, lenses. A wide angle lens captures the expanse of the orchards, while a macro lens is perfect for close up shots for apples and other details. So, most of us on our smartphones, we have a wide angle lens, a macro lens, and a normal lens. Macro meaning zoom. So you have a zoom lens or a macro lens, and you have a wide angle lens. Use them accordingly to share your story. Also, accessories. A tripod ensures steady shots, especially in low light. Okay, so all those are professional photographers. Or if you are a smartphone, you can buy a tripod for your smartphone. That's real simple to carry in your bag. Number three, composition techniques. Rule of thirds. We talked about that. Rule of thirds. Place the subject off center for a balance. Interesting photo, right? Don't try to center everything. Very few good There are very few good photos that are centered. The only thing that is centered are portraits or photos for important people. Like you want that person right in the person in the center, or the tree in the center. There's a reason why you're having people or things in the center. But always go to the left, always go to the right, off center for a balance of and create interest. Leading lines, use rows of apple trees to draw the viewer's eye into the scene. And here's another one, foreground interest. Incorporate elements like baskets, fallen apples, or leaves to add depth. Like you see back here, you see the back of the tree, you see the apples here, you see a barrel there. You kind of like create a whole story. There's that row of apple trees. Look at that, all that. And then you got the basket bins and all that stuff, creating a story about what's going on. Framing, use trees branches or foliage to frame your subject naturally. I always like that kind of stuff. Here's one. Number four, capture the details. Focus on small details like the texture of apple skin, droplets of water, or the vibrant colors of the leaves. Here is another one. Get close to show the intricate patterns and unique characteristics of your subject. You know what's really beautiful? Try it sometime with your smartphone. Go out and like when you after it rains, like you get a rain shower, go out and take pictures of leaves, especially in the autumn. You get to take pictures of all the lines and the veins of the leaves, and it's just beautiful to catch those close detailed photos. Because guess what? Most people don't take detailed photos. They take general photos. So now your photos will be different. It will separate you from the pack. Okay? So get close. Show the intricate patterns and unique characteristics of your subject. Next, number 5, experiment with angles. We always talk about that. Shoot from different perspectives. Low to the ground, at eye level, or above. So shoot from above, get low on the ground, shoot upward, or get down and get even and shoot evenly. Whatever. Keep changing the angle. You may have one subject, but you can make it look different by changing the angle. Okay? Changing the angle. Okay, next. 6, use natural light. Backlighting can create a beautiful halo effect around apples and leaves. Like having the sun in the background, kind of like coming in at a glow, like you see here. Next, side lighting brings out textures and adds depth to your photos, right? You get the beautiful glow of the sun, especially that morning glow or that evening glow. Remember the golden hours? And as that sun is coming at an angle, it makes all those textured lines look so beautiful. Also sets you up for a good black and white photo if you so are into black and white, right? Looking at that contrast of light and dark. Okay. Here's number 7. Number 7, last but not least. 7, post-processing tips. Adjust brightness, contrast, and saturation to enhance the natural colors. Use filters sparingly to maintain the authenticity of your shots, and crop and straighten your images to improve composition. So here's 3 things that are really important. One is everyone has in their editing tools the brightness, contrast, and saturation. It's always good to turn them up a little bit, especially if you shoot in RAW. If you shoot in RAW, then you definitely want to go in and bring up the brightness, the contrast, and the saturation. And you might want to add a little bit of vibrance in there. Also, every one of our cameras, we have filters built into our cameras. You can use any of those filters to give your picture a certain feel. Use your filters. Use them, but use them sparingly, because a lot of the filters, you can kind of adjust them. Or you can take the picture in its original form, but then do your edits and click on a filter and do it softly. Don't just go all in with that full filter. Go in and just adjust it with that little toolbar and just adjust it accordingly. Right? So use your filters. It's okay. It's okay. It's all a part of being a photographer. Okay, and also crop and straighten your images to improve composition. Yes, there's nothing worse than a picture that should be straight on, horizontal, straight line, and you see the horizontal line like that. You see the horizon bent like that. Unless you mean to do it. Don't do it, though, if you don't mean to do it, because if your horizon is off, I'll never forget when I first started taking photos, one of my friends said, "Ron, your horizon's off." And I was like, oh, I was like, oh man, this photo is hot. This photo is great. I got a great shot. He was like, your horizon is off. I was like, oh, never thought about the horizon. So guys, think about your horizons, and also think about your buildings, vertical. Don't let your buildings be leaning over to the left, to the right. Make sure your verticals are lined up. That's why we use the grid lines. That's why we use the grid lines. Okay, guys? Here we go. Here's some photos from apple picking harvest. It's that time of the year. I wish I lived near the Rockies. Look at those. Look at those. Look at those beautiful birch trees. Look at those golden leaves. Look at that. These are all stock photos, just so you know, that I could put together for this lesson. There you go. Look at that. So I encourage you to share your photos and experiences. Each shot is a unique story of your day in the orchard. I should say probably at the orchard, but in the orchard. Happy shootings, and let's celebrate the beauty of the harvest season. So guys, get out there and do some photography. Get out there and share your day out in the country, the mountains, the foliage, the colors of the leaves, the apples, the pumpkins. This is the time of year to get out, especially if you live in the Northeast, if you live